Greetings and salutations. It is I, Professor Macabro, still here in heaven until I get into enough trouble that they kick me out, or I can adapt this place to be a nice, enjoyable place to be. It's already climately pretty enjoyable, but again, needs to be more spiced up. But as I am in heaven, the pleasures of heaven are at my disposal, so I can enjoy a couple of things that I couldn't possibly buy back on Earth. Or I probably could, but I would probably eat Maruchan soups for probably a month. Yes, I have tend to do that. Yes, good thing I was immortal back then. Not so much now, because I'm dead and everything. It's been a whole ordeal. Look at old channels, old videos, and, get the gist of it. But I wanted to share with you a haul video. No movies this time around, at least not in this video. But I was able to add a couple of interesting little nitbits to the collection that hopefully, if I get back to Earth, I can have it delivered back to it. Or maybe I'll just put it in a box and send someone to send it to Earth. I'll figure it out when I get there. But just wanted to share a couple of stuff that I got. So I hope you enjoy. Now, Professor Macabro is a collector of a great many things. Movies, of course, is my main collection, especially horror movies, but action movies, martial arts movies, comedy movies, even though comedy now is a dead art. I can't remember the last comedy movie, a recent comedy movie that I actually saw that I enjoyed or made me laugh. It's a sad, sad state for comedy movies. But movies are my first and primary passion and collecting. After that, I dabble in a couple of things here and there, and one of those things that Professor Macabro dabbles in, which I don't actually think I've shared in the channel before, even though I think I might have, but I don't remember, is I collect Batman Hot Wheels. Yes, indeed. Exclusively Batman Hot Wheels, unless I come across something quirky like, I don't know, the Homer car from The Simpsons. Hot Wheels released a Homer car, and I bought it because why wouldn't I? So yes, let's see what Hot Wheels I got. Now, I don't know what type of series these Hot Wheels are. They have a numbering, but God help me if I know what series these are. So I'm just gonna go with what I got. So, and I just dropped one. But the earliest one that I got here is 4 of 5. And it's the Batman Forever Hot Wheel in a very nice shiny metallic paint job. Yes, I'm not a big fan of this particular Batmobile. My favorite Batmobile of all time is, of course, the Tim Burton Batmobile. That is chef's kiss of a Batmobile. Followed by the Adam West version of the Batmobile and the animated series version of the Batmobile. This one, I wasn't too keen on the design, and whatever this big-ass fin at the top was supposed to be, and not a big fan of that Batman Forever Batmobile. But also got this 4 of 5, and this is the Batman Brave and the Bold version of the Batmobile in a color variant as well. This is more inspired to the old school Batmobile that was in the comic books, and it also unfortunately has that unfortunate fin at the top. But I like the color in this one, so which is why I bought it. And the Batman Brave and the Bold cartoon is actually pretty cool. But this one is 5 of 5, and this is one of many repaint jobs that they've done to the Batmobiles. And this is the Batman Animated Series 1 in a purplish kind of color that I kind of like. Like I said, this is one of my favorite Batmobiles, and this Batman the Animated Series 1 is pretty cool. And again, I own a couple of these Batmobiles, but I like them, even though a lot of them are just re-releases with different color schemes. Sometimes they do kind of make him look different enough to merit the purchase to a Professor Macabro like myself. So, what else did I get? Well, I also like kaiju movies. Love them. My favorite one is Godzilla. But unfortunately, Godzilla figures are surprisingly kind of hard to find. I have come across them at the Walmarts, and but unfortunately, whenever I see them, I don't have the liquidity to be able to buy them. So I'm like, God damn it, you beautiful thing, I can't buy you. Maybe next time. And then when I do have the money, I go back and, of course, it's not in the shelves anymore. And I curse how relatively not poor, but not rich I am to be able to buy the stuff that I want when I see them and not risk not being able to find them later. It quite sucks. But then again, if I were able to buy everything that I want to buy, or get everything that I want to get, I would eventually run out of space as I was when I was back on Earth. So, yes, I guess it's a good thing I'm not rich. But again, if I was rich, I would be able to buy a mansion, a big-ass mansion, and have a movie room, and a Batmobile room, and maybe an action figure room, and, you know, the place when the room where I have all my kinky stuff like that. So, I don't know, maybe being rich would go to my head, as power tends to do. But whenever I can afford and find cool stuff, I buy it, especially if it has anything to do with Godzilla. And I found a Kong figure from the Monsterverse. I only have a Mechagodzilla from the Monsterverse. I haven't been able to find the legendary version of Godzilla. I have an old school Gojira figure, and I have a couple of more Godzilla figures, even the 1998 Godzilla figure. But Kongs, I don't have it. I have only one Kong, and it's the Peter Jackson Kong, which looks pretty cool, but it's the only one I got. And this Kong, I like the design of Kong, and I liked Kong Skull Island. And this is the Monsterverse version of Kong, and I must say I really do like him. The plastic, that's something that modern toys kind of suck at. The plastic is not as cool as plastic was when Professor Macabro was a young Macabro. But still pretty cool. He has the battle damage here, which thankfully the piece is still there, so I can just pop it in there. But I'll probably leave this bad boy in the case and display it with my Godzilla and my Mechagodzilla. So yes, very, very enjoyable. Cost me $7. So I was like, $7, I'm gonna buy that, and buy it I did. Yes, Heaven has a store where you can buy whatever you want, and it's not that expensive. Go figure. Next thing I bought, when I saw Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, in the trailer they showcased a zombie Strange, and I was like, holy shit, they're gonna go to the universe with the Marvel zombies. They kind of made a runaround with that, and they did have a zombie Strange, but it was more like a reanimated corpse that Doctor Strange possessed and made to fight the Scarlet Witch. But I like the design of Zombie Strange, or as he was known, Dead Strange. And I found a Funko Pop of Dead Strange. And I like it. I liked his look in the movie, and I like this Funko. Funko is something that I have fought against starting to collect. That's a rabbit hole that is too easy to fall under, because first you want to get your horror Funkos, but then you see your different version character Funkos, and then, you know, it's just a never-ending thing, and you want to get all of them. I would like to get, of course, a Jason Voorhees, a Freddy Krueger, a Michael Myers, and my goddess, Elvira. There's quite a couple of Elvira Funkos, and I would like to at least own one of those. But maybe someday, Godvira will let me find a Funko Pop of Elvira. But yes, this is, again, Dead Strange, and I really like the zombie look of him, so I couldn't resist buying it. got it for $5, so I was like, yeah, heck yeah. Why not? What else did I get? I bought some wares to wear. Indeed. I picked up this Nightmare Before Christmas t-shirt. Purple, and it says, I'm your worst nightmare. Which is something that I would probably attribute more to a Freddy t-shirt. I would assume a Freddy t-shirt would best take advantage of this particular phrase, but I guess it fits because it's Nightmare Before Christmas. And I particularly like the Nightmare Before Christmas. It ticks the check marks of taking place on Halloween, actually through Halloween Town, which I'm all for Halloween. Give me all the Halloween all the time. But also it, corrupts Christmas in its own way. So you have the two big holidays, Halloween and Christmas, and I'm all for it. And I also am a big fan of the songs, the characters, the stop motion. So, of course, when I saw this, I was gonna get it because I freaking love The Nightmare Before Christmas. And the last thing I picked up is a t-shirt of a character that I don't own. And that's a good old Charles Lee Ray, Chucky. Picked up a nice red Chucky t-shirt, which will go very well with Professor Macabro's wardrobe. I like red, as you can plainly see. So this was very awesome to get, and I am quite happy to have added it to the collection. Yes, my formal wear, if you will, now has another edition. Yes, it's always cool to walk by the streets sporting a horror t-shirt and having a fellow horror fan point it out and say like, ah! And you're like, ah! And you make a mutual appreciation of each other with your horror wardrobe. It's really, really cool. But unfortunately, it doesn't quite happen as often here in heaven. Not a lot of people like horror movies in heaven. At least not anyone that I've come across. Which is very, very disheartening. But maybe I can change those people and turn them around. I might have to place an order for a couple of horror movies to be delivered with the devil's lettuce and the booze that I ordered. Something I'll have to look into. Well, Professor Macabro did get a couple of more stuff. Some really cool stuff. It's barely July, but we already have Code Orange. And Halloween stuff is starting to trickle in the world of heaven and earth. And personally, I'm quite offended when I start seeing Christmas stuff in September. Like, what the fuck? Christmas stuff usually released after Thanksgiving, but now it's in September. But when it comes to Halloween, I am perfectly fine with seeing Halloween stuff in July. Because it's just awesome. So stay tuned for the next video, where I will share a couple of Code Orange acquisitions, as well as a couple of movies that were added thanks to Heaven's Dollar Tree. Yes, Dollar Tree in heaven actually starts carrying new movies, not just Christmas movies like it did back on Earth. So stay tuned for that. But until then, Professor Macabro, please ask you to like the video, comment down below, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm, which is even a pain in the ass even here in heaven. So help with that. But until I see you all again, I wish you, like always, a good evening.